Hello. Hi. I am very annoyed with my team today. They keep switching sides of things. I've got this one was here. This table was here. The camera was not there. I'm just very confused. But it's because last week I was away, so they take a good opportunity to change things whilst I'm away and everything else. So I'm even more confused what I'm in. So the good news is that today we have probably a 5 hours long tea time that we're trying to condense into half an hour, 40 minutes. Marco has a spatial challenges noted. Has spatial I have the problem I have is that I am one of the most I'm very organized and I'm very kind of repetitive, like always going to the same restaurant, always doing. So if something changes, I get like a bit frustrated, and so my colleagues know that, and they like to make my life harder. And because I come downstairs for tea time like 5 minutes earlier, usually, it's getting even worse. Yay, helping hands. Yes, we're going to have a little chat about Starship Troopers. I think organize those CD. Okay, I have a problem, Ian. But yes, so we're going to talk about Starship Troopers later. I have a few news. Well, first of all, February this year is super packed with stuff. We have loads of releases. Today we have. Do we have a release today? Yes, we have a release today. I was testing your preparation on the current subjects. Enzo is not here today because, as you know, it's Sanremo Festival week, so everyone is kind of a bit dizzy in the morning. The thing finishes every night at 2 o'clock in the morning, so every proper Italian watches it all the way through. So in the morning it's a bit like, I don't know where I am, so on. So Enzo decided that today was probably better to stay home. So, but we have Michele and Andrea here helping us. So yes, I was saying very, very busy month. We have Scourge of the Seas, Master Magic Scourge of the Seas releasing today, or actually released now. We have the Tau for Battle Sector releasing next week. We have Terminator releasing on the 21st. So quite a busy month, well, a very busy month. Lots of promotions, lots of stuff happening because we're also announcing stuff. There's currently 2 big demos playing. The Broken Arrow one, of course, which is not broken anymore, by the way. It does work, and we've got quite a lot of people playing the game simultaneously every day. And we also have a headquarters World War II demo being available on the Next Fest currently. So as you see, lots of stuff happening, lots of work for producers, operations, marketing. Everyone is very, very busy. In the meantime, Helping Hands is asking for, directions on where to chat and, and how to connect each other. So I guess that Miki can give him some instructions, or Andrea. So where to start? Okay. To give a bit of structure to this tea time, which is really packed with information and stuff, I want to start by Terminator. Terminator is only 2 weeks away from release. We've just sent out, about 2 weeks ago, preview code to the press and media and so on. And I have to say the reaction was absolutely fantastic. We had a lot of very, very, very positive feedback from everyone playing the game, especially what we did was, you know that we have released the Next Fest, I think 2 Next Fest ago, or the last one. We did release a demo with the first 3 missions. We've added to this preview code further missions after that, so people could progress on what they already did during that Next Fest. And I think we did the right choice, because really the idea of how the game progresses and how it evolves on players' hands was very was a winning move. So lots of very, very positive feedback. To highlight some of the stuff we have, some of the features of the game, we have released a number of videos that have been recorded by our fellow streamer, Samstra Game. She's been doing quite a lot of very cool things with the game, explaining the mechanics. So the explainer videos are now available on the website, on YouTube, and you can find all of these. There's one about units. There's one about the RPG elements and of the game, and one about environments. And so you'll be able to sort of dive into the cool features of the game and find out more about it. In the meantime, we have a teaser trailer. Do we have it? Yes, go for it. So February 21st is official. We already have an approval from Skydance on the build, so everything is lined up to work, hopefully. If something comes at the very last minute, you will be coming to chase me. But at least I told you that at the moment everything is fine for release on the 21st of February. We're going to run some events and things as well, because this game deserves quite a lot of attention. We are probably, I honestly think this is going to be one of the best RTSs being released this year, and not only this year. This is a really, really great game. If you like, I guess that what we tried to do with this game was make it a really deep RTS for RTS lovers, that is very much focused on the war element, on the fighting element, with a sense of progression and a narrative and a narrative story and a story behind it. So combining all these elements, it was not easy, because you guys know that we're not narrators. We don't do games that usually have compelling stories. We started doing a bit of that with Starship Troopers, and Stargate was another step into that direction. I think this is going very much into that stream of trying to tell a story, but at the same time really focusing on a deep strategy experience. So watch out for that, and go and grab it when it releases. And thanks for subscribing. Zycloned. Thanks for the sub. Steam Next Fest, I was saying earlier on, the headquarters World War II demo is out. Quite a number of, a few thousands of people have been downloading the demo and playing the game. Again, very, very positive feedback. We do these things not only to spread the word, but also to gather feedback. The feedback has been exceptionally good. We have a number of areas where we know that we need some improvement and things. But the thanks for noticing, Vampiro. That message is very warming, heartwarming for us. We know that the guys have been working very, very hard on delivering a game, and that really captures that. World War II essence, but also is probably going to be the best looking turn-based World War II game out there. So we are very, very proud of what Stani Games has done on this project. to give you a full idea of what the game's going to be, you guys know it's going to be 3 campaigns. You can play, there's 3 campaigns playable from the United States, the UK, and the German side. There's all sorts of skill trees and evolution of your units, and the campaigns are story driven as well. So there's a nice story behind it as well. So we try to sort of, again, try and mix and match some of the elements, but the core of it is really the deep turn-based strategy experience that you'll be expecting from this type of game. Tell us about the Napoleonic and Pike and Shot DLC for Broken Arrow, please, Marco. Nice to have you back despite your colleagues saying they killed you. Yeah, I know. I've been said this. I've been told that my colleagues were very kind. But no, I'm not dead. I'm still here. You can rest assured I won't be dying before Terminator release. After that, we'll see. The Napoleonic Broken Arrow DLC is releasing before the release of Broken Arrow. I like confusing you so that you don't know if something I say is true or not, so I can basically say anything. There's a couple of sales happening. I'm getting some messages out of the way so that we can focus on the cool stuff later. Nuclear War Simulator is on sale on Steam alongside the Master of Magic franchise. You can find it there. You can jump on both opportunities. These are all both on Steam for, well, of course, Master of Magic for the celebration of the release of the new DLC. There's also a combat mission sale going on the Matrix website. Make sure you take full advantage of that. That's combat mission logo is old. Isn't that the old logo? I'm firing someone today. This is not good. This is not good. No, I'm joking. I'm not firing anyone. So lots of sales. One thing before I move to Starship Troopers news. The idea of the putting together some of the elements of announcing things and then releasing stuff. This month of February has been will be very, very busy. We are going to try and give you announcement on release dates for probably the 3 or 4 most anticipated games we've got in the pipeline around between February and March. So if you're looking for when games like Headquarters, Filigree Kingdoms, and Broken Arrow and more are actually releasing, stay tuned. I think we're going to probably have more announcements coming towards this subject in the next couple of weeks. So stick with us on that. Today, not today, we have also released, and again, thanks Lucas for the amazing work on these. We have released 3 free-to-play missions on Starship Troopers, Stern Commands, Raising Hell. So if you own the DLC, you'll have 3 more missions for this DLC. We call these the challenge missions. The challenge scenarios are really about beating your own best to score. And I kind of missed the introduction of Sopaja, but is that the CEO of Slitherine? No, I'm not the CEO. I'm just a guy. Not that. I'm not that important. So Raising Hell gets these 3 challenge missions. There's a new competition that we've launched on Discord, where we basically play the missions, play these 3 missions, and we sort of try and create a ranking there. The idea is, if this is becoming popular enough, we can then turn this into more like formal leaderboards, and then the overall sort of manually doing it. The idea here is, Starship Troopers is very much a narrative-driven game where each well, the main game and the DLC are about, playing through a series of missions that are linked together with a nice story, and some, cool things happening in between. The 3 missions we've launched before Christmas, I don't remember exactly when, but we've launched 3 challenge missions last year, and these 3 challenge missions, 2 are more about replayability and making sure that you beat your own score, and you go on and do that through higher score and so on. So to do that, if this works and allows us to sort of give a bit more life to ongoing Starship Troopers replayability, we're going to focus more on that. So if you're interested in that, just go on the Discord and post your results and help us grow this interesting, new side life on the Starship Troopers game. Do we have Helping Hands? Okay, cool. So Helping Hands has been streaming, of course, Helping Hands of Company of Heroes fame. He's been streaming. I'm saying this because you're like champion. You're like champion of Company of Heroes 2. You've been quite a lot of competitive, playing competitively for quite a long time, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've grown my Twitch channel around the Company Heroes franchise, and won Company Heroes tournaments and things like that. But I've branched out to loads of different strategy games now, and I've just been playing some Starship Troopers Terran Command and been enjoying the new 3 DLC missions.
That's great. What do you play all 3 of them, or just
one?
I've
just literally gone through a few of them now. I've managed to complete the first one, Raiding Inferno. It started off quite difficult at the beginning, but once you start building up some of your forces and you get those command points come in, I put some turrets in my base to be able to hold the front line against them while my squads went out and then dealt with all the infestations and all the nests. The second mission, however, the Prospect and Protect, that was really difficult. I couldn't do that. I felt like I had no time to go and put down those mines, those little drill bits that you need to do, and get back to defend. I was playing on the hardest difficulty, mind you, but definitely felt like that second one. I gave it a good 3 goes or so, but I still couldn't manage it and get absolutely destroyed. Then I tried the Wildfire mission. That was really good. Though again, I felt like the ash cloud effect that comes in and it just messes up your whole kind of game flows. You can't reinforce your units on the field, so playing around that was really challenging, and I'm still trying to do that mission at the moment, actually.
All right, cool. I mean, I think it's good feedback, and we'll sort of probably circle this back to Lucas to maybe introduce some easy or easier difficulty levels, or something that makes it a bit more. Because I think that if I'm not wrong, you need to have to achieve victory in order to get a high score, right?
Yes, the second mission you have to just survive for as long as possible, and the longer you stay alive, I think the more of a high score you get, which is pretty cool. And I like that because it's because each mission seems to have like a different kind of mission objective to it. So the second one's like how long you can survive. The third one is how quickly you can clear the map. So a bit of nice variety there.
Nice. Have you played all of the Starship Troopers so far, or is it did you sort of play it in bits over time?
I have completed the entire Starship Troopers main campaign, though I haven't completed the second campaign, the DLC content for that. So that's what I've done so far. But I thoroughly enjoyed the first campaign and stuff, and it's nice to see that with this new content as well, there's new units and new bugs to fight as well, which is definitely adding some nice changes there.
Nice, very cool. Thanks for joining us, Helping Hands. You keep playing the game now, or are you doing something else now?
Yeah, I'll be playing the game again now, and I'm just trying to see if I can finish this third mission. I feel like I'm almost done it. I've almost managed to complete it.
Cool. Well, when tea time is over, just head to Helping Hands channel and watch how it's done. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye. Bye. So yeah, on top of this, I just want to say Yog Dog has already reached a score of 2,552 on the Prospect and Protect mission, and Hexabu is scheduled to stream on Valentine's Day. for at 6:30. So if you want to sort of see more of this, join Hexaboo on our Twitch channel. I think it's really cool to see that there's a vibrant community of people, but also newcomers to the series. I think this game has over 500,000 wish lists, so there's still a lot of people, waiting for the game to be discounted or some kind of event happen. So we'll see how that happens. Hexaboo is already on a mission to beat Yog Dog, but as you know, Yog Dog uses French tanks, so I guess it's kind of be easy to beat. Lokiki, any news about Stargate? Is this a big failure for Slitherine? What do MGM Amazon think about it? The game doesn't seem to interest or please anyone. Is it abandoned? An update plan, or will we just have to wait for longer for part 2? Good question. Happy to answer here. There's quite a lot, good questions with lots of S's. Start from the. See, that's great. I'm now going to have a chat, talk about Moana 2. No, it doesn't have an article for that. No, I'm going to answer this. I'm happy to answer. The Stargate Part 2 is in development. It's planned to release this spring. There will be an update planned probably, I think, middle of next week, I think. We are planning to release the first update for the game. It's going to be quite a sizable update. It's quite big. And to answer the first part of the question, is it a failure, and what do we think about the game so far? There's a number of things that I want to say about this, and thanks for asking the question. The game, of course, we're not like super happy about how things are going. As you probably know, we never abandon a game, so it's not gonna be something that we abandon altogether. The team is working very hard to either fix what has to be fixed and work on part 2. The game has they didn't get a lot of interest from players, that's for sure, or enough interest from players, but it pleased a lot of people. And by saying pleasing a lot of people, I say lots of people played, like influencers and creators and media. A lot of these guys loved the game. The game was hindered by some negative reviews coming out of nowhere. And I won't touch this subject again. I've done this already, and I won't be going there again. I am sure that the game will gain more traction over time. My personal view on how things are going with Stargate is very much like the market as a whole is very tough at the moment, and there's a lot of games that are underperforming, and I could make a lot of examples of this. So I'm not worried or saying I'm disappointed by the actual performance of the game. I think I'm disappointed from the market as a whole, and we'll be looking at supporting the game and making sure that we try and gather the attention that the game deserves over time. So to answer your question, and hopefully I try to do this, but hopefully you get the sense of it didn't start well, but we're going to back this as much as we can over time, because we are 100% sure this game is absolutely great, and it works for the franchise, for the IP, and for the type of game it is. It's working very, very well. No, you're not asking touchy questions. You're asking valid questions, and I'm here to answer. Mordante, I'm not answering your questions because actually I have to say I didn't read your questions, but I think your questions are revolving around, is there some news about Field of Glory? I think so. Okay, I think I answered all the questions, but I'm not sure. And we'll see. So before I jump to Panzer Corps, which is the big subject for today as well, I wanted to sort of course celebrate the launch of Master of Magic, Scourge of the Seas. To do that, do we have a video? Do we have the video? Do we have the 2 minutes video? No, we don't. No. The Master of Magic Scourge of the Seas, we actually, it's a bit of a pity because it is the best 2 minutes video, one of the best 2 minutes video explanatory videos we've done for a long time. It did came out very, very nicely. Scourge of the Seas is the latest Master of Magic DLC. As you know, and by the title, I guess you recognize some of the references. It's of course a game DLC that's entirely based on water and the use of water, and the DLC revolves around piracy, and there's a lot of new heroes and wizards and a new race as well. The Scourgers. This DLC is really, I think, if you compare it to Rise of the Soul Trapped, the idea here is try and give this game a sort of an opening to another set of gameplay features. And I think adding a lot of water gameplay has, done tremendously well to the game. And we have a video.
Master of Magic Scourge of the Seas introduces 3 brand new water layers that will take your exploration to the next level. The Treasure Island, a submerged paradise with treasures and challenges. Wind caves, mysterious grottos with hidden riches and unique combat challenges. Brace for turmoil as pirate scum now infest these once tranquil waters. Prepare to face monstrous kraken bosses in battles that will reward you with unique wizard traits that can't be obtained anywhere else. The seas aren't just for adventuring. They also offer valuable resources to shore up your cities, such as pearls, reef, and fish. Encounter 4 new wizards with their own unique traits and playstyles. Bellet, the Cursebringer, Zarzia, the Supreme Hive Queen, Horatio, the Sea Tamer, and Gain, the Sea Hunter. A new faction emerges, the Scourges of the Sea. Commanding ghostly ships and troops, they seamlessly traverse both realms, striking fear into the hearts of those who dare cross their path. Brace yourselves for a tidal wave of excitement as we introduce 3 sensational heroes in the latest expansion, Master of Magic, Scourge of the Seas. Fim the Philomath, the Hive's Rebel Caster, Big Berta, the cannon-wielding Wraith Orc Captain, and Slithers the Sea Scourge, the Lizard Man Wave Warrior.
And the Slither, the Sea Scourge. Sus. So, because I'm very late, do we have an image of David reading a book like this? Here it is. Here it is. David, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry. Am I late? Am I late?
I was just reading about Field of Glory Renaissance.
Are you reading some books about Field of Glory Napoleon so that we can make a game?
Well, but the chat seemed to want Renaissance, so I thought I'd go and do a bit of research. I'm down here in the Slitherine library, so I thought I'd look.
See? It's like one of these Microsoft Xbox live streams where on the background you've got like hints of what's going to happen next. And so you're reading that book and the pike and shot thing on the back probably hints to something, right?
Yeah, hints to you getting more trouble from Wadante, I think.
So you're here to talk about Pike and Shot 2, right?
I could do. I don't think you want me to, though.
No, we're here to talk about Panzer Corps Future, or Panzer Corps Present, actually. Right, so we've sort of come to the end with 1946, come to the end of the Axis Operations series.
Yes,
and
Germans all over the world.
Yes, we've placed German troops everywhere. So what is next?
So what is next is more Germans now, but on the other side. So next is Panzer Corps 2 front lines bulge. So off to the Ardennes.
So, okay, so first of all, let's focus on the first part of the sort of second part of the title, right? Panzer Corps 2 front lines. So what is it all about?
Yes, so Panzer Corps 2 obviously launched with its big grand campaign that came with the base game itself. Since then, we've had 9 DLCs in the Axis Operations series, taking you from the Spanish Civil War all around Europe and off to America. Those have been kind of all at the kind of Axis Operations scale. They've been grand and wonderful. But we'd like to have a bit more variety and give people a bit something else to look at. But we're aware that we have, shall we say, covered a lot of this ground a lot of time. So what we've decided to do is take a more zoomed in look at particular bits of World War II, which is what the front lines brand is all about. So
how do you mean zoomed in? Is it like as in less tactical, less strategic, more tactical? What kind of, how much zoomed in are you thinking here?
So we have basically chosen one front line. So in this case, we're starting with the Ardennes offensive in '44. And people who've played Panzer Corps 2 will know there is an Ardennes offensive map in Panzer Corps 2, which is one map. It's vast. It goes all the way from Belgium down into Germany. Panzer Corps 2 Frontlines Bulge basically takes that whole thing and stretches it out and zooms it in. So where your siege of Bastogne might just be one small bit of that Panzer Corps 2 map, now it's multiple scenarios in Frontlines.
So, and in terms of units, will that change a lot, in terms of focus on units and how much a unit is, counting for on the battlefield? How's that going to change?
Not too much. Fortunately, Panzer Corps' system is wonderfully fluid, as you kind of already seen in the fact that the system works for the base games, it does for Axis Operations, which covered very different scales. So we conceptually, when you see a unit of infantry in defending Bastogne, it's less men than, say, an entire army rolling across a plain in the base game. But fundamentally, gameplay-wise, Panzer Corps 2's system is so wonderfully accessible and flexible. We're pretty sure it'll just work straight out the box.
And is it going to be like linked missions, story-driven? What's the overall package?
So yeah, always linked missions. We know that you have to be able to carry over. We're not going to go full Axis Operations where you have to carry guys through like 7 years of war, but you will be carrying a force through, about 60 days from December 44 to February 45. But we know that because we've zoomed in a bit, we have to stretch the truth a little bit. You can't be hanging around in Losheim in the north and then go and defend Bastogne in the south. So your force is a narratively useful force that is moved around to where it is needed. You're essentially there to plug gaps and save the day. But there's a narrative element, but we're trying to focus on the history, trying to focus on what actually happened rather than what might have happened, and try and use you to kind of really show the way with a bit more of a history focus on what actually happened in the battles.
Cool. How do you think this changes? I mean, what is what I find fascinating about this is that of course the system is flexible and you can do all these zoomed in things. Is that ultimately Bulge is it's like the test bed for future things. How do you think Bulge is the best place to start for this series?
Well, I think it's almost famously World War II in a day. It's kind of it's the only outside of Normandy, it's kind of the only real European land-based significant battle the Americans fought, where they weren't just kicking people out of various towns. So you have the wonderful aspect of you get blitzkrieg, you fall back against the blitzkrieg, you start nipping off uh, holes in the Germans' line and then pushing them back. So it really is like the entire Western theatre condensed, which for a series focus of taking a part of World War II and condensing a focus, it seemed like the natural place to start. But as you say, from here, the world is our oyster for this series. The idea is to basically go and find other areas that are maybe a bit underused or just have stories that need a bit more telling, and we'd really love to go and dig into those.
And of course, it's late 44, so you've got all the cool units in.
Yes, and importantly, you're on the other side. All the cool units are coming straight for your face, which is certainly, I think, one of the. As I said, there's a few branching scenarios, so there's 12 scenarios in all. You'll play through 9 in one playthrough. You'll generally choose basically north or south as to where you want to go and play with. But certainly in those early moments where the Americans are very thinly spread through the Ardennes and suddenly there's panzers everywhere, there's some very harem-scarum bits of where do you give ground, where do you not give ground, what do you try and hold on to. That's really quite dynamic and exciting.
It's time for one of yours or of one of your polls on the Twitch for what you want after this.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more.
It could be an interesting take on. I think the other thing about Frontlines is, in terms of how you play it, it's just playing a little bit less abstract in a way. So I think if you're kind of new to the series, I think it's also a good starting point to do something a bit different, but still kind of approachable, right?
Yeah, it's very much the case of that tank you see on the battlefield is much closer to a tank rather than the abstract of this is quite a large armoured army with thousands of men in it. You're much closer to, well, there's probably about 5 tanks in that tank. And it kind of feels much more into the terrain around the area as well. Like there's the small built-up city areas surrounded by fields and frozen rivers with planes unable to take off, but so close that you can almost smell the jet fuel, but they can't get there because of the snowstorms. So really quite very accessible.
So the Steam page and product pages are all live now, so you can wishlist the game now. Make sure that you do it so that you know when it's releasing. But also, David's going to tell us more about release time frame and a little bit more about what's coming, where we are with development, how far are we from release.
So what I would say is that we've also just put live the beta sign up for it. So we've been doing some internal testing, but we really want to get people in to play it. We think we know what we're doing. We want to see actual players get in there, especially ideally a variety of people who are very hardcore Panzer Corps 2 players, like they've gone all the way through Axis operations, to maybe some of the players from original Panzer Corps 2 who maybe haven't picked up a DLC for a while. We'd love to have some of them in there to help us out. So that'll go in. We're looking, with beta starting soon, the missions are all in there. They're all ready for playing. There's no kind of, it's only half of it. And we want to kind of be out by the spring, Northern Hemisphere spring. So we want to get pretty soon. We're on the path to release already.
All right, that's really cool. I keep looking at this image. I don't know if you see it, but there's this image on the screen. There's this double barrel tank, and I can't really figure out. Just can't not notice it. That's weird.
Where does the logo sit?
I don't know. So do you have an idea or just some hints on, of course this is hopefully the start of something, start of a series. And I have to say that the Panzer Corps series is alive and kicking, and it's still, one of our, if not the most played game daily that we have in the catalog. So there's a lot of people playing the game still. Do you have an idea of or a wish of where the game is going to go in a near future, or ideas to share, or stuff to ask our community, or anything?
Well, what I quite like is Asterix asking for a Sedan 1940 just to troll Yogdog. I like that.
That's possibly true, yeah.
So there's bits that what I quite like about it is that we get a chance to play something smaller, because there's much greater Panzer Corps 2 stuff in the works, which we aren't ready to talk about yet, but it's all kind of fishing around there, so we don't want to tread on their toes. But little things like, is there some force that has maybe the units in the game that we've not touched upon yet? So we found that the scenarios here are developed by Bernd Brosing, who's a Slitherine guy known as B-Bro. The guys aboard a battle may know him. He's been a modder for a long time. And he's a wonderfully quick and nimble creator of scenarios, experienced creator of scenarios. So we think we can get this stuff turned around reasonably quickly. But we know we've also got other Panzer Corps 2 stuff bubbling away and ready to come out maybe in the summer, maybe a bit later on. So we'll see what we want to say about that. I think there's a new tournament going live as well. So there you go.
Yeah, I think you're touching on an interesting point there. I think Sorry, Andy. I've got a posture check for everyone. So, yeah, you touched on a nice, interesting point there. Of course, Panzer Corps is huge. You've got this opportunity of doing, large campaigns, and then you've got like smaller, more focused, zoomed-in campaigns, and then you've got like the multiplayer and so on. So it's such a big world of opportunities that you really want to sort of focus on what is actually working for the community. So I think that the tournaments and the way the tournaments are being organized. Can we say anything about the knockout tournaments, or coming in in the next few weeks and months as well?
Well, I think what we can say is that I think we've opened sign up for a new chess mode tournament, which is more kind of traditional Swiss style, so that's open now if you want to go and sign up for that. But we've done internal tests now on knockout tournaments, which are more traditional bracketed tournaments where there is one winner at the end. We are going to start rolling those out for beta testers probably this month in some of our communities. So I'm hoping that maybe by the time that Frontlines Bulge comes out, we can start looking at a set of knockout tournaments for the best Panzer Corps 2 players as well.
That's cool. I think yeah, that's also another way of keeping the community, happy and playing all for a long time.
There you go. Asterix is saying he wants some Italians in Operazione Air. There you go. So he does see something talking about.
That's not a bad idea. We should consider that. So yeah, David, thanks for joining us. If you want, guys, if you want to join the beta, it's slitherine.com/beta, and you can, find all the instructions there. But I guess that you guys in the chat here are very well aware of how that works. And
Marco, who's going to win San Remo?
Sorry?
Who's going to win San Remo?
I don't know. I'm torn between Annalisa and Geolier.
Well, I'll take Annalisa. You can take Geolier. There we go.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, let's see next week then.
Yes.
Okay. Cheers. Thanks, David.
Thank you, Marco.
We have a Fanta Sanremo League in the office. Who wants to participate? By the way, I am last, I think. Am I last in the league? I think. Anna, who was very clever, did her team with the ChatGPT, and she's winning. So that speaks a lot to how the results are coming in. I have to give you the official streaming schedule before we say goodbye for today. Today, after this, we have Das. Sorry for being too long here. Das playing Master of Magic Scourge of the Seas. After Das, we have Exabu playing Headquarters World War II. And they're both going until for 2 hours. So hope you enjoyed that. Then tomorrow we have Yogdok playing Stargate at 6. Das Tactic playing Master of Magic again at 8. And Richard York playing Axis Operations 1946 at 10. Next week we have again a pretty busy schedule. We have on Monday, for Matrix Monday, we have Sergeant Z-Dog playing. Where's Sergeant today? I didn't see him. Playing Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm at 4:15. And XTRG playing Strategic Command at 6:15. And Gamer playing War in East at 8:15. War in East 2, of course, 8:15. And then on Tuesday we have Marco Tonello playing a combat mission at 8. Or this is a joke? If that's true, I'm going to watch it all the way. It's going to be my Tuesday evening entertainment. And then, of course, next week we have the release of Tau, and I'll be, of course, back on the tea time. No, it's not true, of course. Somebody's making jokes on the schedule, so I get confused, even more confused. Anyway, check your schedule on the Twitch channel, because this is getting even more confusing for everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I will, very unprofessional, yes, Neil, I will go upstairs and shout for 2 hours now. But not before I have coughed for at least half an hour. And I will see you next week, of course. Tau is releasing next week. Go buy Scourge of the Seas. Take advantage of all the sale opportunities, of course. And next week at tea time, we'll tell you when Field of Glory Napoleon will release. Bye.
The attraction towards new experiences is powerful. Alienware gear isn't made to resist that pull. It's made to accelerate it, to transport you to new places where you can embrace difference and leave familiar behind, bringing you ever closer to the ultimate experience. See you on the other side.